Good morning and welcome to the Killik market update. The FTSE 100 has reacted well this week to the latest plans to ease the lockdown within the UK. Non-essential retailers are allowed to reopen from June, and that's a pretty major step towards reopening the economy. We can have a look at some share price moves that have happened this week to get an idea of the types of companies that should benefit the most from this reopening of the economy. Essentially, the shares that have performed the best this week are the ones that performed the worst when the lockdown was first announced. Here on the slide you've got a few examples of shares that have performed particularly well this week. We've got UK banks, Lloyds and RBS. If people are going back to work and businesses are starting to reopen, that's good news for the UK banks because it means that more people will be able to repay their loans and mortgages. Travel companies, EasyJet, Carnival Cruises, Intercontinental Hotels, if people are able to start moving around once more, that's good news for these travel businesses. And finally, British Land, which owns a lot of retail space. If retailers are allowed to open once more, that's hopefully good news for British Land because it means that retailers are hopefully more able to start paying their rent once more. Now, all of these share prices are moving off a very low base, but the fact they've come up so much this week does show there is at least some optimism about the reopening of the UK economy. Donald Trump is now trying to take away some of the legal privileges that social media platforms enjoy with regards to responsibility over their own content. At the moment, these platforms will do their best to take away any illegal or highly offensive content, but they are not legally responsible for making sure that everything posted on their platforms is factually correct. Donald Trump took offence this week when he posted on Twitter saying that he believes that postal ballots are highly open to fraud, and Twitter decided to add a notice on his post saying that his claim had not been substantiated. Donald Trump took offence at this, and he's now saying that if Twitter want to fact-check his posts, they should be fact-checking all posts. Here you can see a tweet from the White House yesterday saying that an executive order has been signed to try and make these social media companies responsible for all content on their platforms. At the moment, the consensus seems to be that it's very unlikely that this will actually become law, but if it were to become law, it would have very serious consequences for some of these social media platforms. For example, Facebook users currently upload 350 million photos every single day, so having to fact-check every single post would literally be an impossible task, and perhaps that's why shares in Facebook and Twitter were down yesterday after it was announced that this executive order had been signed. And finally this week, Rolls-Royce has been downgraded to junk status by ratings agency Standard & Poor's. Rolls-Royce is predominantly a manufacturer of airplane engines, and the agency believes that with the global lockdown on travel, Rolls-Royce will experience weak profitability for the foreseeable future. In particular, Rolls-Royce is exposed to the larger airplanes that are more used for business travel, and at the moment the consensus view is that business travel will recover more slowly than leisure travel once this global lockdown starts to ease. This downgrade to junk status comes after a very difficult time for Rolls-Royce. Have a look at the share price chart here, which shows the share price over the last 10 years, and as you can see, Rolls-Royce has not been performing very well. Moving ahead to look at next week, we've got results coming out from Nike and also Zoom Video Communications. That's it from us. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next Friday.